Happy Miracle Monday. This is Dawn Petalino and your transformational coach. And Miracle Monday is where I offer you truths. I always say I offer them to you, but really I'm reminding you of truths. And if anything resonates with you, remember that it's only the truth resonating with you. That's why your body is feeling it. Your body's your best lie detector. So today's truth, and I refer a lot to A Course in Miracles and A Course of Love, and just to remind you of these truths so you can go out and be a miraculous being in this world. Today's truth is about feeling trapped by our circumstances. As human beings, things come into our world, difficulties, challenges come into our world, and we judge them when we look at them, and a lot of times it just feels like, I can't deal with this, I got to get out of this, this relationship, this job, this whatever. And it's not that some of that isn't resonating with you, but you changing the job or the relationship isn't going to solve it until you do this. The one thing we have to practice before changing anything on the outside is finding our own vibration, our own harmony, our own alignment on the inside. And that means that we have to accept, and this is a difficult truth to accept, that our happiness is a choice. And I know for myself that when I'm feeling frustrated, when I'm feeling bogged down, when it's been a stressful day, that I have to realize the only really reason it's been stressful is because of how I'm seeing the situation. Because a lot of times of the pressure I'm putting on myself, because maybe not everybody in the situation is happy and that causes me stress. It's all these parameters come in that help me or make me define it as something stressful. And I have to remember in every circumstance that my happiness is my choice. I can choose to permit myself in spite of these conditions. And this is key because we can't be happy based on conditions. That's kind of like rearranging the furniture on the Titanic. If I can just rearrange it, it's going to be okay. We have to change the insides before the outsides can change. Otherwise, we're just going to keep sailing on the same ship. So happiness is a choice, which means I have to say, in spite of all this, I am going to give myself permission to love, to approve of myself, to feel free, to not be bothered by that. Because the only thing that's bothering me is me. My own thoughts are making that a concern of mine. And whenever I say, in this moment, I am going to allow myself the freedom of feeling okay. I'm going to allow myself the freedom to not worry about the future, to not lament or regret or go visit the past. I'm allowing myself the freedom to choose that my happiness is the most important thing right now. And I'm going to let myself off the hook. And in spite of whatever else is going to go on, I'm giving myself permission to feel good. And that doesn't mean we don't have our feelings. We might have sad feelings, we might have angry feelings, but it's whenever we're defining those feelings based on the condition, based on if this changes, then I would feel better. It can't work that way. Then we're always going to be trying to control the condition. But whenever I want real freedom, I have to remember happiness is my choice. And the only reason it's difficult is because I have been practicing basing my feelings on what I see, rather than basing it on what do I want to experience? What am I giving myself permission to feel? And what am I not giving myself permission to feel? I can have a friend that, I might be complaining about something, and if they told me this, which, they have, and I would just argue about all the reasons why, yeah, I could be happy, but this and this person's not happy, and this is happening. And so sometimes, yes, we need to vent. However, get past it and remember, in the end, happiness is really our choice. We make up our mind to decide, in spite of these conditions, I am allowing myself the freedom to be happy, to approve of myself. And this is what happiness really comes down to for me, is to approve of myself, to approve of my life. Whatever else is going on, it's okay. I am not going to let that decide for me how I should feel about me. And so just allowing myself that freedom, when I advocate for my own happiness, remember, we are all one consciousness. And so when we advocate for our own happiness, we are advocating for the whole. And we actually help others free themselves, because real freedom is freedom from our circumstances, freedom to decide for ourselves. And an interesting thing happens when we decide for ourselves, to give ourselves full permission to feel good in spite of whatever else is going on, to say, you know what, I'm still going to love and approve of myself right now, and I'm still going to allow myself to feel good about me, to feel good about my life. And when we let that happen, then happiness, then it's interesting that we actually raise our own vibrations, and we bring more of that into our circumstances. And so don't be surprised when circumstances begin to change, because something has changed in here. You know, the Course of Love says, those of you who struggle to find happiness, rejoice. You don't have to wait. It's not lost. You don't have to wait to define it, to name it. It is here now. So even if I say, I don't even understand what's going to make me happy, what should I have? No, none of that. It's just like, I am just deciding, in spite of all these conditions, I'm going to feel good. And that's what I'm choosing right now. That's the miracle. Now you are free. Now you are free of your circumstances. Now you are free. You are in control of your own vibration. You are in control of your own life. And you are free from others' opinions. You are free from the circumstances. And watch how miracles begin to come into your life, as that is the frequency that you begin vibrating. And all it requires, as A Course of Love says, is your acceptance of it. So we have to practice it. Just ask yourself, whenever you're feeling down, whenever something's going on, am I basing this feeling on these circumstances? Am I basing it on these circumstances? And can I choose to love and approve and feel happy about myself now? Can I practice that? And when you practice it, it gets stronger. So what voice are you listening to? What are you practicing? Are you practicing listening to the voices of the head, of everybody else's opinion? Or are you practicing listening to what feels lighter and better and truer for you and more empowering for you? Practice that, and that's where miracles happen. Happy Miracle Monday. I invite you to like this page. I invite you to share it if you feel somebody needs to hear it. You can check out my website, www.dawnpetalino.com, for different blogs, for resources, for books, for meditations. And I hope you have a miraculous Monday. And today, I hope you make your mind up to advocate for your own happiness. Happy Miracle Monday. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.